Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Ace Combat 7. I finally get to show you guys this game. Holy crap. So I've been playing this game a lot on my Xbox One, and I've not been able to record it just simply because I just could not get the setup to record. It kept freezing, it was just a bloody nightmare, so in the end I gave up and thought, fuck it, I've pre-ordered the PC version. We'll do it here. So, this is going to be a commentary walkthrough. We are playing on hard difficulty with expert controls. And with that,
does the color of the sky mean anything special to you? It does to me. A hell of a lot. When I close my eyes, the sky in my dreams is a deep, dark blue. Pilots have been in my family for 4 generations. Flying's in my DNA. Even so, my grandpa didn't want me joining the Air Force. He lost faith in the Ocean Air Defense the day my dad died in battle.
You know, Abby, I wish you could see what it's like up there. Cruising above the clouds, the dark blue of the stratosphere. Nothing beats being at the controls and seeing it from the cockpit. Look here.
Gramps tossed a magazine over to me with an article. Unmanned fighters are no longer a dream, it read. Pilots taking to the skies will soon be a distant memory.
I don't see anything good coming from that.
Know what? Lying smack dab in the middle of the desert west of here, there's a bunch of planes from the last war. Some of them have been mothballed, but most of them are just rusted piles of junk waiting to be scrapped. Gramps was really good friends with the super there, so he got to take whatever he wanted, no questions asked. That's how we got the parts to build our own plane. Now, when I say we, I mean me, my grandpa, and his old war buddies. I cut my teeth working with those geezers. They taught me their skills, and some dirty jokes. But with their aging eyeballs and whatnot, I ended up having to do most of the work myself. I was at the airstrip doing some flight training when I saw it. A prototype drone. It wasn't much of a plane, more of a trash can with wings.
Laugh at it all you want, kid. But technology's always changing. If you don't keep up with it, it'll leave your ass behind.
It took 6 years and 8 months to get that engine running. And it took us another 1.5 years after that to finally get the balance of the airframe just right. I'd gone from being a little girl to, well, still a girl, just older. But now, I was all alone. Wherever the souls of my Gramps and his pals are flying, I hope it's peaceful. Then, finally, I was ready to break the sound barrier. All this plane could do was take off, accelerate, and fly up. Straight up, through the clouds, higher into the sky. Dark blue. I could almost touch it. Then I saw Osia's fighters. They were tailing something. A drone. They were going full out chasing that thing. Doing 30 Gs at least. Damn, I've never seen anything move that fast. It had a rose painted on it. The Erusian emblem. But that country's a whole continent away from here.
Right. You should have been my best with this piece of junk. Should have built a return too.
Zabel. We'll see more of her a little bit later.
Is everyone here? Settle down. I said settle down. You have all been instrumental in helping to maintain peace in Yuzha as members of the International Union Peacekeeping Force. Until today. Earlier, our radar site informed us that a group of unidentified aircraft was approaching. Communication systems went down immediately afterwards. We are led to conclude that they have attacked the site. Here's your mission. It's possible that the Yuzhan ceasefire agreement has been broken for the first time in over a decade. As of today, the Fort Grays Air Base Squadron of the IUPF has been put on high alert. All members who have been ordered to sortie, fly there immediately. Find the unidentified craft, then use your weapons to round them up and force them to land. If the hostiles counterattack, then you will...
What the hell was that? There's smoke! We're under attack. Numerous unidentified aircraft confirmed overhead. What? How is that possible?
The tank farm to the north has been bombed.
Many injured.
Scramble! All units, take off and eliminate the unidentified craft attacking the base. This is not a drill.
Ah, it feels so nice to be here in 1080. Right. Ace Combat games normally start out in a fairly similar way. You, your fighter, and a bunch of bombers with a few escorts. So, I do have the special edition, which means we have Abel's F-104, which we just saw in the cutscene, but we can't fly this aircraft in mission. This is reserved for free flight only because it is completely unarmed. We also have the F-4 Phantom, which I'm not going to play right now. I'm going to show you that aircraft a bit later. So for the minute, we're just going to take the F-16.
Mage Squadron, aircraft preparations complete. Stand by at the front.
Radar site's still silent. Scramble. Get those birds in the sky. We're sitting ducks. What's happening? Bombers incoming. Don't know how many.
Let's clear that runway. We don't got all day here.
Mage Squadron, head to runway. Column Squadron, take off. Link to Skykeeper. Hurry, Mage Squadron. Trigger, your call sign is Mage 2.
Oh, it's so good to be back.
Mage 2, clear for takeoff. The situation's tight. It's a hell of a welcoming party, but we have faith in you. Good luck.
Control, do me a favor and get that bird in the air ASAP.
Hear that? Column Squadron and your wingmen are airborne. Take off and form up with Mage 1. Mage 2, altitude restriction is lifted. Good luck.
The carrier. Whoa. Looks like the harbor's taken a lot
I'm
of
flying
damage.
Ace Combat game for it.
Can't have any more casualties. Time to stop the bullshit.
We're playing
Mage
PC
2,
games, I'm not
warm
going
up
to
with
control
Mage
shit.
1. All aircraft, let's do this. Golem Squadron, it's go time.
Roger that.
Going for understood.
This is the AWAC Skykeeper. Take down all unidentified bombers. They don't have many escorts. They hit our radars hard in the last attack. Expect the worst and stay sharp.
Wilco.
It's just Draco, guys. I'm going to do my best not to.
I'm your wingman. Fly with me now. That's what it means to be in an element.
Enemy bomber confirmed down. Good job, Mage 2.
Not bad, Mage 2.
I'm going to do my best not to talk
Trigger,
over dialogue.
switch your radar. See if you can locate the enemy. There it is, sitting there all pretty, just waiting to be taken. They're way overhead.
The graphics are so much better than on the console.
All escorts form up for another attack. Point is 835.
The game will
Watch
run
out for
higher
the
than this.
support aircraft.
Mage 2,
I'm just using 1080p for the sake of recording.
Lost a friendly.
Support eliminated. This should make the job easier. Destroy the target. Target confirmed down. Looking good, Mage 2.
That's a miss.
Mage 2, target's in range. Pair of bombers.
Trigger, stay calm. You got this. I know the kid's shown some promise, but let's remember, he's still barely gotten his feet wet.
Music gets me every time. So I'm going to try and show you guys a variety of aircraft as we go through the game. I do have my favourites though,
Don't forget your special weapon.
and I'll be using those a lot. But I know there's some planes you guys are going to want to see, and I'll do my best to show them to you. Either in story mode or in multiplayer.
It's great when it's simple.
Enemy bomber
Oh, and I will be
down.
playing a lot in
Nice
third
going,
person
Mage 2.
because I like to look at my plane.
Not too shabby, Mage 2. You still got a long way to go, kid. I'll give you some pointers back at base if you can make it in one piece. Skykeeper, this is Mage 1, over. Tally 2 bandits.
Copy that. It's a bomber and an escort.
Whoa there, Trigger, settle down. Mage 2, maintain your element with Mage 1. Do not break off. Mage 1, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Wilco. Golem 2, let's maintain element.
Copy that, Commander. I've got your 6 covered, sir.
Just for
Radio.
Just the record, Trigger is a silent protagonist, and I'm not saying a word throughout this entire game. We know he's male, and that's about it.
2 new enemy groups.
This is HQ. Attention all combat groups. Are there any drones? Verify.
Drones? Are you kidding me right now? Jesus, this is the kind of shit that really chaps my ass. UAVs. Can't tell them apart.
Mage 2, missile away. Target is down.
Attaboy, Trigger.
I don't want to try and go for the escorts really, but I'll talk about why I'm going for the escorts as well. A little bit later on when we get some. I think it's the next mission
Mage 2, locked.
because they're not target aircraft.
Enemy on your tail! Watch it!
Star warning. Star warning.
Not glued to this one.
Mage 2, Fox 2.
It's T-160. That's going to take 2 missiles.
Harbor facilities and carrier destroyed. Call that mission accomplished. We've still got half our baggage. Emptying them on hangars and runways.
Mage 2's bandit confirmed down.
They can burn with their whole payload. Hesitating for a split second could be the difference between life and death. Stay sharp, think fast.
Roger that.
Missile hit.
It's not really fair, really, is it? Shooting with T-1s with S-16.
Where the hell are our fighters? The harbor's under heavy fire!
Targeting range of guns.
I am playing with a controller, just for the record as well. Just that way I prefer to play his combat games. So you can judge me if you want. I want to get the all missile again.
Special weaponry depleted. Missile launched. 1 remaining.
Mage 2, keep your focus. You got this.
bombers are down. Our radar shows no sign of bandits. You're in the clear.
Good going, Mage 2. Flight Commander looks like he's got what it takes.
Pull up.
Let's slow down. It's just one sortie. Don't try to be a hero. I want you to make it back in one piece, you hear?
Yeah, I gotta side with the boss man on this.
Column Squadron, this is HQ. Did you confirm any drones?
What's the deal with all the drones?
They have flares as well, just didn't need them.
Column 1, return to base and report for debriefing.
I am Princess Rosa Cosette Delise of the Kingdom of Erusia. Citizens of Erusia.
Trigger, your call sign is Mage 2.
This couple of games come with a replay system. We're not really going to pay too much attention to that though.
Situation.
We are currently assessing the damage to the base. We have confirmed that the aircraft carrier Albatross was sunk. We know the attacking bogies were from Erusia. International Union peacekeeping force bases all over the Yusian continent were attacked in the same way. The damage is severe. Many wars are lost by failing to recover from the opening blows. That means successfully retaliating was very important. You may have turned the tides of battle here. You have our thanks.
The aircraft tree has been unlocked. Okay, so the reason I was going for the escorts is because you earn currency in the game, so you have to buy all your aircraft. So basically, I was just trying to maximize my gain so we can get some better planes as quickly as possible. You'll see the aircraft tree in a minute.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on. I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Yusia, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Yusia, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Yusian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Yusia was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Usians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Usia, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
Princess Rosa Cassette of the Kingdom of Erusia. Today, Osean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship, too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia, on the opposite side of the Usian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
Don't worry, we'll see her again soon.
Erusia has made a declaration to the Osean Federation and all countries on the Usian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Usia. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advance element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
So, there are a lot of references to the previous games. I'm not going to go through all of them. I think I'm just going to leave it as a, if you know about it, then good for you, and if you don't, well, I don't know, I'll point out the ones that make sense to point out, I guess. Oh, so this is the aircraft tree. Yeah. I've seen all this before, I know what I'm doing. Now, this is also showing us all the different aircraft we can unlock. One of the different paths we can take to get to said aircraft. The bottom part of the tree is for what's it there? So immediately we can go. We're very close to getting the F-14D. We could also get the MiG-29. We're not a million miles away from the F-2A, but it's the Mirage 2000 that I'm going to be going for first. And the reason for that is because I want the Gripen E. This is my favourite plane this is my favourite fighter jet in existence, my favourite plane in the game, and I'm going to be making a beeline straight to it. Once I have that, I'll start branching out and getting some of these other aircraft that I know you guys will want to see. Because for some reason you guys are obsessed with this thing, so don't worry, I'll make sure I get it. And I know at least one of you is going to want to see some F-15s, so we'll make sure that gets done as well. There are, I think there's a 20 aircraft in the game. 20 plus, there's like 25 planes or something in the game. We won't be unlocking all of them in this walkthrough. It's actually quite difficult to unlock them all, but I'll get as many as I can. Though I will also be trying to get particular parts to improve our aircraft. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Tell you what, let's take out the F4, shall we? Yeah, I'll take that. So you can tune your aircraft with parts as well. Yeah, don't care about that. We're gonna go with this one. This is the only part we have, and it just gives the aircraft a slight boost to its speed. And let's go.
Mage Squadron, sortie, ASAP.
And yes, just for the record, I'm going to kill I'm at least going to try and kill absolutely everything in this mission.
Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry.
Well, she's a
Destroy the
big, sexy
target.
beast, isn't she?
But HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
But any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close.
Yep.
Intercept! Fire the AA! Radar vehicle out of there!
Missile launch.
Shit, where the damn intercept?
It's popping off now, Trigger. The war has officially begun.
Page 2, locked.
Vanson feels like a brick compared to the F-16, but I think it's a bit faster.
Target destroyed. 5 to go.
Get the fighters out there! Protect the radar vehicle! Requesting permission to move the vehicle! We can't wait any longer! We need interceptors now! We're using the containers now! Those weapons are meant for tactical flexibility.
Target destroyed.
The radar vehicles are under fire! Can we move them?
Target destroyed. 3 to go. Continue to engage at your discretion. Enemy interceptors inbound. Prepare to engage in 30 seconds.
Wilco, here they come. Take them down. Okay, recruits. Pay attention to who's on what side. The newest IFF is connected to our entire force via satellites. It's reliable, so trust your radars.
I think 21 versus an F4 fans for this
They
fight out.
also mess with your HUD and radar. The Seekers can sometimes lose their lock-on to their targets, too.
Golem 1, enemy will crash in a residential area.
Just worry about staying alive for now.
Everything's been turned down.
Box 2.
I'll show you guys with some camera a bit more a little bit later.
Missile, right now. Box 2. Breaking out clock. Splashed.
Helicopters are such a nuisance. Oh shit, too early. Let's try that again.
Box 2.
All the enemy aircraft away from the base.
Oh, this Phantom is such a brick.
Evading missile. God damn it, my brother was on that radar unit.
H2, box 2.
Dr. Left
Box 3.
Box 2. Box 2. Box 2. Break.
Let's use my airburst missiles for those matches, really. Because they are slippery little bastards.
Canada square. Lock on. Heads up. Headed behind you. I've got the numbers here for strike. Getting on board.
So you want us to take down the enemy without damaging any public facilities? That's gonna be a circus.
Enemy missile inbound. It's evading.
H2, missile launch.
Get away from that vehicle. Now.
Target eliminated. No remaining special weaponry.
We're out of special weapons.
Missile evading.
Alright, clean up that last radar vehicle. There's nothing in your way now.
Now, I think I might be able to draw out an enemy ace.
2 targets remaining.
Let's see what happens.
That radar was just about to go online. Push the plan forward too fast. The base was too far from Allied
Might take too
territory.
long. Never mind. We'll talk about the enemy aces a bit later on.
Trigger, there's one more to go.
But when we actually see one, I'll talk about what they are.
Locked. That was the last radar vehicle. Great work.
Alright, so 30 missiles
Receive
left.
your engine space now.
Might have to conserve them a little bit. We'll use the guns.
Crush as many as you can.
Enemy transports are taxiing.
Three targets remaining.
No, they're not linked to the radar vehicles. Launch manually. Redo the setup.
Fox 2, Fox 2.
Here's some feedback from those war merchants. Find your manuals in a language we can understand.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Launch preparations complete. Bolts are free. Whenever you're ready. Stand clear, 15 meters.
Target is down.
UAVs ready to launch. Away.
Still got everything.
What happened? Status report.
Multiple bogies on radar. They're close.
Wait, they're being launched.
You're cleared to engage. They're probably hostile.
Judging by the way they look and move, they gotta be drones. Well spotted, clown. No doubt about it, we're dealing with UAVs. But that doesn't change a thing. Just think of them as somewhat clever decoys. Take them all down.
UAVs are a lot harder to
Drones
shoot
have
down.
great agility. All aircraft, you know what high G turns are, right? Use them. HQ, this is Golem 1.
They will brake check you, they will cobra you. They're little bastards.
Golem 1, that doesn't matter. Destroy all enemy fighters and get out.
It doesn't matter.
Walking over there, you can notice I've been using fighting turns the entire time.
Yeah, I just wish they'd give us a bit more warning.
Missile did not connect.
I'm glued to this one. Bandits
So-
are in the clouds.
Missile inbound! Evade!
Hostile on your tail.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Enemy UAV confirmed destroyed. Hell yeah.
Golem Squadron, you're not gonna let Mage get all the glory, are ya?
3 enemies to go.
Read their movements. The enemy knows a few moves, but that's about it. Just chase them down and pull the trigger.
Don't ice up in there.
Get running with the blue light was about, you'll find out later.
Crap. The aircraft is icing up. I'm getting a warning.
Get out of the clouds, the ice will melt.
You have a lock on you, shake 'em.
Golem Squadron, surround them. I'm buying dinner for anyone who takes down an enemy.
So, drones
Here's a bar I want to try.
You're doing good.
One to go. Let's get through this without any casualties.
I'm there.
Fox 2. Mage 2, locked.
On his tail.
Golem 4, Fox 2. Clouds are screwing up the accuracy. Trigger, don't let them give you the runaround. Take them down one at a time.
The clouds.
Got him.
Nice kill, Trigger. Enemy
out
aircraft
of
confirmed
clouds.
down.
The skies are clear. Nice work, everyone. Mission complete. RTB.
No casualties. We couldn't have done any better. Returning to base.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
You shoot, someone gets killed. The guys in charge take care of the rest.
You've given us air superiority by destroying their radar. The first barrier keeping us from retaking the space elevator is gone. Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.
I do believe got enough MLP for an aircraft. Let's do this.